Okay. We need to talk about last night. In case you were living under a rock and you didn't see it yesterday, Spurs got absolutely annihilated by Bayern Munich at home in the Champions League 7-2. Now, that all being said, we started the first 25 minutes off amazingly, but it just went from there. Absolutely capitulated in the second half, and we ended up with our worst home defeat on record ever. So yeah, like I normally do, I put a vlog out for the game yesterday. If for whatever reason you want to check that out, the link will be in the description. So yeah, make sure to go see that. It's safe to say it wasn't great, and there's definitely a lot of things that need to be addressed because something is clearly going wrong at Spurs. So what today's video is going to be is a little bit of a Q&A. I put out this Instagram post on my story earlier today. You can go follow me on Instagram at George Achillea if you don't already. But I put this story out asking you guys for your thoughts on the game yesterday and to ask me any questions that I can answer for this video. So you'll definitely want to follow me if you want to be involved in this kind of video in the future. So all I'm going to do now is go through my phone, see what you guys have been saying and answer any questions you might have and try and work out to the best we can what the hell happened yesterday and what is going wrong. Okay, I'm going to try and keep it as quick fire as possible because I've got about 25 that I'm going to go through here. I had hundreds more, but a lot of people were saying the same thing and I just can't answer that many questions in one video. So here we go. Proof coming through. What are your thoughts on the team last night? I thought the team started the first 25 minutes off amazingly. I think we played probably the best we've played all season so far, to be honest with you. With a higher press, it was working brilliantly, and then it just stopped. I think their worldies kind of took the momentum away, and for the rest of the game, like I said before in the intro, Jacob coming through. Do you still think Poch can take us to the next level? Yes, 100%. In my opinion, it's nothing to do with him. Well, not nothing. There is obviously some blame on him, but I am a firm believer that it's much higher up. It's the board's and the players' fault, to be honest with you. And I think if you give Poch a refresh, new set of players, I think he would be phenomenal. So yeah, I think the problems are a lot deeper than just the manager. Flins, would you take Mourinho now? Now, no. I still believe in Poch, like I just said. But I do think he's an incredible manager and he knows how to win and could be one for the future if Poch isn't the right guy. Josh, Poch in or out, or is he gonna resign? I'm very much Poch in. I don't want to see him leave. However, Levy won't sack him because it will cost him too much dollar. So I think we're most likely going to see Poch resign and potentially take the Madrid job. Callum, will this result ruin our season and confidence? I still think it's early doors. Plenty of time to go. I don't think it's going to ruin the season. It's definitely going to kill confidence. Our confidence was as low as it was already. But I don't think it would necessarily ruin the season, luckily for us. Luckily for us, the other teams are doo-doo around us as well. You've only got Man City and Liverpool that are going to dominate the top of the league. Third and fourth is for the taking. Do you think Oreo should ever play another game for Spurs? Nope. George Wells, who were the top 3 players last night? Not easy after that. Yeah, I agree. It's almost impossible to say who the best players were in probably one of the worst games I've ever seen. But for me, top 3, in my opinion, were Ndombele, looked different gravy, as usual. I can't lie to you, I think Winks had a very good game, except for the moments where he gave the ball away for the goals. Apart from that, he looked pretty comfortable on the ball. And I'd say the final one is probably Harry Kane. He slotted the penalty home beautifully, but apart from that, he didn't really get many other chances. I think they just defended pretty well against him. Joe, best strategy for January and what to do with Erikson, Toby, Serge, etc. January, we have to do our best to bring in new players. Whether that's going to be the replacements for Erikson, Toby, or Serge, or Jan, or Rose. I mean, there's so many players that could potentially leave in the summer. We have to seriously consider bringing people in January to act as their replacements soon. I mean, once Sessegnon's fit, I reckon he could be a potential replacement for Rose. But we desperately need a new right back. Desperately. That's the one thing we have to get in January. And regarding what to do with Erikson, Toby, Serge, if they don't want to play for us, get rid of them. It's that simple. I would love to see Toby stay. I would love to see Jan stay. But you have to think about the player mentality. If they're not in it at Spurs, none of them are bigger than the badge. Ship them off. Danny, do you think we're going to be able to bounce back from this? Love what you do, bro. Call me Spurs. I appreciate your kind words. Do I think we can bounce back? Definitely. Do I think we're going to win something? That is a totally different story. But I definitely think we can bounce back. Definitely put in better performances than that yesterday. I think the team just need to come together and hopefully just sort whatever is going on in the back room. George was again coming through with a statement this time. We need to get rid of Erikson soon. He is lazy and Dele Alli needs motivation badly. Erikson, I agree with you, to be honest with you. If he doesn't want to play for Spurs and there's been so much contract dispute, if we offer him a decent contract, is he still really going to want to play for Spurs? His performances have been so poor recently. What is the point? We either got to ship him for some money in January or let him go in the summer. You can sign a pre-contract in January with Juve, Real Madrid, I don't know, Wycombe Wanderers if he wants to. I don't care. Rennie, is Spurs v Bayern the most embarrassing match you have watched? 100%. You can't start that game all firing, looking good, and then lose 7-2 at home. Marcus, what's your opinion on our right back current status? I think it is poor. Cole Walker-Peters apparently has been nowhere to be seen since the start of the season, and I think he's a decent right back, but again, he's still young and not strong enough. And Oreo, proven again by his red cards, by his stupid tackles, by the fact that my man can't defend as a right back, tells you that there is a massive issue. I was the only one that said it in the summer. I was not happy with the fact that we sold Trippier if we didn't replace him, which we didn't. I remember a lot of Spurs fans last year slating Oreo anytime he played, but now all of a sudden because Trippier's gone, he's a good enough right back. No, that's not the case. We should have gone for Hakimi or someone better at right back, and we just haven't done it. January, Levy, we need to sort that out ASAP. Ryan, if you could change one thing about the team to make us like last season, what would you do? To change one thing, the defense. As much as I love Rose, Vertonghen, Toby, like I love these guys, there's clearly something going wrong. We're conceding far too many goals in the last minute of the first half and at the end of matches. We're conceding almost every single game, and they just look so lethargic and slow. I think the whole of the defence needs a shake-up, and it's sad to say because these guys that have played with us for years, and I don't know, man, I think we need a change. I'm guessing that Sam, in your opinion, who was the worst player for us on the pitch? Who do you want Tottenham to sign in the January transfer window? Oh my God, who do I want us to sign? We definitely need a new right back. And to be honest, regarding the rest of the signings, they need to be the new successors for the likes of Toby, Jan, Rose, Serge and Erikson. Because all 5 of them could leave in the summer. It is very, very possible. And in fact, I think it's all but guaranteed that 3 of them are leaving. So if we have to be honest with ourselves, we need to start looking at the future and we need to start getting in their successors soon. But in terms of an actual player, I think Hakimi, Borussia Dortmund's right back, is a top signing for us. I believe that the diamond formation is a major issue. Thoughts? I would bring back the 4-2-3-1. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking about this diamond formation on Twitter and everyone saying it's wrong. To be honest with you, at the start of the game, whatever formation we were playing there, it was working perfectly. For me, what it seemed to be is that we just could not keep the press. And yeah, I think you're right. When the players, or when the fullbacks, should I say, were going further up and attacking, we were left so exposed. If we bring that to 4-2-3-1 like we have been playing for the past 5 years, except for when we went 3 at the back, but apart from that, we've been doing 4-2-3-1 and it's worked very well. So yeah, I think that could be an option that we should look into consider. Jack, I feel Dyer is a very important part of the team but isn't getting enough minutes. Do you agree? Yeah, 100%. I think Dyer is just a sturdy central defensive midfielder who obviously can play centre-back and potentially right-back. And we've just been missing that kind of player. As much as I think Sissoko has been good for us, we still have yet to have that solid defensive midfielder that gave our centre-backs that breathing room to not have to deal with every single firing attack. Sissoko Ndombele Winks, I think, is a great middle 3. But Sissoko is not an incredible footballer. He's obviously a strong guy, has been doing well, but he's not our best footballer. I miss the days when Wanyama and Dembele were an absolute wall in the middle, and then obviously you had Dyer and centre-back helping out the 2 boys, Toby and Jan. I think we need to start bringing some of these class players back in, at least some big defensive midfielders, to sort out our defensive issues, because there's massive ones at the moment. Luke, do we remove the captaincy from Hugo? To be honest with you, I would like us to. Nothing really against Hugo, but when you look at that pitch, he is not the guy that you see as the leader. Harry Kane is the one that's leading everyone, and he leads his country. And now I understand that Hugo is obviously the captain for France as well, but you can't tell me that looking at the pitch that Harry Kane is less of a leader than Hugo. I feel like the players react to Harry Kane more than they do to Lloris, especially since Lloris makes a lot more cock-ups than Harry Kane does. I would love to see Kane be the captain instead of Hugo, but I'm pretty sure there's something in his contract about him being captain, because I think that was the only reason we were able to keep Hugo like 3 years ago when he signed his contract. Rosie, do you think we can get back to our old selves? It's going to be tough. So we were a force, especially at the last season of the White Hart Lane. We turned that place into a fortress. And to be honest, anyone laughing at us selling Walker, you need to have a good hard look in the mirror, because honestly, ever since he left, some things have been going very, very, very wrong defensively. But yeah, I think there's a lot that needs to be fixed, and it's going to take time. It won't just happen like that. I think Poch is still the man to do it, but we need a whole squad refresh in my opinion. Omar, why are you actually spending £70 to £100 on Tottenham games? We should all stop. Yeah, I wish it was just that. When you're going away to Olympiacos, to Bayern Munich, all spending hundreds of pounds every week, all the food, the travel to get to these away games, the home games, I'm spending thousands of pounds a year, and the players can't even bother to show up. It's almost unforgivable. And I'm not going to stop, because unfortunately I bleed Spurs colours. But I think if it keeps going the way it's going, it's going to have to stop. It's costing way too much money for way too much disappointment. And don't get me wrong, I'm still supporting the club no matter what. But it's becoming ridiculous that I'm spending hundreds of pounds a week to watch players that don't care. And trust me, I've seen it a lot. A lot of fans are starting to not turn up to games, or not even want to go to some games, because why should they bother if the players don't? You know what I mean? Crusty Crusader. Harry Winks is so overrated, was terrible yesterday, but always seems to start. Honestly, I think this is the worst thing I've ever seen. No offense. I think Harry Winks has actually been one of our most consistent and one of our best players this season so far. He doesn't score goals, doesn't get assists, but let's be honest, neither did Dembele, and he was one of the best players in the world. Well, at least that's what all Spurs fans thought anyway. Harry Winks knows how to drive the ball and is relatively comfortable on the ball. Obviously, a couple of times he gave it away, and one led to a goal yesterday. But, I mean, the whole of the defence was much worse than he was. I think Winks is a class player and definitely not overrated. Carson, Ndombele our best midfielder? 100%, man. This guy is unreal. Who's doing some flicks, tricks? The balls he put through to Sonny twice, and both were left unanswered, which was a shame. But my guy is looking very good and is adapting to the league very quickly, and I'm excited to see him out of all the players this year. Jack's page 1. Realistically, do we have a chance for top 4? Yeah, we do. I mean, apart from Liverpool and City, the rest of the league is awful, so we definitely have a chance. It's just going to be a lot harder than the past few years. Aral, do you think we should give youngsters like Troy Parrott a chance as the others can't win? Honestly, I think Troy Parrott could be a brilliant player, and if he's looking this good at 17 playing in the under-21s and playing for Ireland under-21s as well, the guy looked like a baller. Definitely worth giving him a chance. I wouldn't start him ahead of Kane, maybe with Kane, or even putting him in the League Cup. Oh, wait. Maybe the FA Cup games, but I mean, we need to win that trophy, so you got to weigh up the risks. Jay, would you rather see Foyth, Oreo or Sanchez at right back role? I would rather see my Nan play right back. And that is it for all the questions. I don't think we particularly solved anything. I think we all just realised how poor our defence was, how something definitely needs to change. But in my opinion, I think just calling for the manager's head is just the easy thing to do. It's the first reactionary thing to do when things aren't going well. To be honest with you, if you look at the other options, Mourinho, is he realistically going to come to Spurs? He complained about not being backed at Man United, and he spent 150 million in one summer window. We just spent about 60 million this year, and that was our record, and we're supposed to be happy with that. You think he's really going to be able to put up with Levy? No chance. Our realistic targets are looking like Gareth Southgate and Eddie Howe, and there is no way in hell any of you can tell me that these two can take us further than Poch does. The problem is much higher up. It's more to do with the fact that Levy not spending on the players we need, not backing Poch properly, and getting in the fresh faces ahead of these players like Erikson, Toby or whoever that really want to leave. Just get the ones that don't want to play out of the club. Sort out the mentality amongst the players by bringing in fresh faces and players that want to fight for the badge. I think that is the main thing that I want to take from this, and I want all of you to leave comments down below. How are we going to fix this mess? I want to see what you guys are thinking, if you agreed or disagreed with anything I said. And yeah, next up is Brighton. Man, we need a result from that. Anyway, I shall see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace.